everyone, so about 2 hours ago, I got a comment that said, can I ask you to make a video about the differences between ollaan and olemme? So that's what I am doing right now. So olemme translates to we are. So the root of this word comes from the verb olla, which translates to be. So olla means to be in English. And then you go through all the different forms for like I, you, he, she, blah, 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 blah. And then you get to we. So we are is me olemme. Me olemme is we are. We are going to the store. Me olemme menossa kauppaan. We are alive. Me olemme elossa. We are partying. Me olemme juhlimassa. So me olemme, or simply olemme, as the MME at the end signifies that we are the doers in this situation, or no, we are the ares, to beers. Sorry, my grammar vocab is not great. Please pardon me. So the MME at the end already signifies that we are the ones doing the action. So therefore, me olemme, the me part is not necessary for the other person to understand who is doing the action. So in this case, me, so we are doing the action. Me is kind of extra. It's not necessary because olemme already has MME at the end. So really you can just say olemme juhlimassa, you can say olemme elossa, olemme menossa kauppaan, and it means the exact same thing as me olemme. So there's that. So yeah, olemme basically just means we are. We are blah, 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 blah. On the other hand, formally, ollaan, which is what we're comparing olemme to, ollaan is a passive form of the verb. So we have, sorry, I'm just looking at the verb table here. So for verbs, there are two forms, I guess. There's the active voice and then there's the passive voice. So the active voice is basically everything except the passive. That's not helpful. The active voice would be like, I am going here, you are doing this, she is doing that, we are blah, 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 blah. Whereas the passive, on the other hand, there is no subject. So when you're using passive, there is no like active subject in the sentence. So for example, if you were to say, in Scotland, you can get iron brew at Tesco. Okay, what's the active subject, I guess? There isn't really, because the you in the English sentence is passive. You're just meaning people in general. You're not saying you exactly you can get. When you're like in this case, in this example. So you're just saying in general in Scotland, iron brew can be bought from Tesco's. There's no like active person. So in English, the equivalent would be like people use you or one can buy, blah, blah, blah. So it's like a generic sentence that can be applied to everyone, umbrella. So ollaan in this case is the passive form of the verb olla. So as olemme, it is like we are blah, 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 blah. Olemme, blah, 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 blah. Ollaan is the passive verb form of olla. And all of this, what I'm saying right now, is in kirjakieli, so the more formal written Finnish. So when you see in written text, ollaan, it will 99% of the time, if you're not reading something that's written in puhekieli, if it's written in like kirjakieli Finnish, if you see ollaan, it will be referring to the passive form of the verb olla. So there's no so-called subject in the sentence, and they're talking generically, like people are blah, 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 or there are blah, 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 blah. Like it's a generic sentence, whereas olemme will be referring to we are blah, 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 blah. But here is the difference. So this would be, all of what I said is kirjakieli. Now if we move to puhekieli, this is where it gets interesting. So olemme is actually quite seldom used in puhekieli. So if you want to say, we are going to the store, very rarely will Finnish people say, me olemme menossa kauppaan, or even olemme menossa kauppaan. Very rarely will you hear Finnish people say that. Instead, in puhekieli, people will actually say, ollaan menossa kauppaan. Much, 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 much more common. For example, if me and my sister were walking out the door and my dad would call out, hey, where are you going? Mihin ootte menossa? I would not say, olemme menossa kauppaan. I would never say that. Instead, I would say, ollaan menossa kauppaan, or me ollaan menossa kauppaan. In speaking, I wouldn't say me olemme blah 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 or olemme blah blah blah. I would much more likely say, 99% of the time, I would say ollaan something something something. So ollaan menossa elokuviin. Ollaan menossa kirjastoon. We're going to the library. Ollaan menossa juhliin. We're going to a party. Like, I would not say olemme menossa juhliin. It just sounds a bit too formal and a bit too bookish, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I think in general, most people, when speaking, would use ollaan interchangeably with the meaning of me olemme in kirjakieli. So essentially in spoken Finnish, me olemme and ollaan are the same thing. They're the exact same thing in spoken Finnish. But then in written Finnish, if you're like taking an exam and you have to like know the different forms and stuff, me olemme is the, what is it called? The first plural active voice. I guess if we're getting technical here, it's the active version of we. So we are, me olemme. Whereas ollaan would be the passive form of olla. So no active subject in the sentence. Whew, if that makes any sense. But as I think most of you are wanting to learn to speak Finnish, you can use ollaan as the so-called active subject in your sentences when you're speaking, you know, in day-to-day Finnish and you want to say, we're going to the park. You 100% sound more natural if you say, ollaan menossa puistoon. So keep that in mind. If you want to sound more natural and more like so-called Finnish, use ollaan instead of olemme when speaking. Yeah. So yeah, that just about concludes this video. So if something was unclear or was left a bit, or like you just didn't quite catch what I was trying to explain, do leave it in the comments below and me or someone else can hopefully explain it further to you. And yeah, hopefully you learned something new. So that just about concludes this video. So till next time.